What if I told you that everything you have been taught about money is wrong? What if I told you that going to school, getting good grades, and working hard for a salary might not make you rich? Sounds strange, doesn't it? But this is the truth discovered by a young boy who had not one, but two fathers. One was rich, and one was poor, and the difference between them was not luck, not education, but their thinking. This boy's name was Robert. He grew up with two powerful influences in his life. His real father was highly educated. He believed in studying hard, getting a stable job, and earning a steady income. He worked hard every single day, but still struggled financially. This was his poor dad. On the other hand, there was his best friend Mike's father. He didn't have high degrees. He didn't follow the traditional path, but he was wealthy, very wealthy. This was his rich dad. Both fathers loved Robert. Both wanted the best for him, but their advice about money was completely different. Poor dad would say, study hard, get good grades, and find a safe job. Rich dad would say, learn how money works and make money work for you. As a child, Robert was confused. Two fathers, two completely different mindsets. Who was right? One day, Robert decided to find the answer. He and his friend Mike went to Rich Dad and asked, "Can you teach us how to become rich?" Rich Dad looked at them, smiled, and agreed. But instead of giving them lectures, he gave them a job. The boys were excited. They thought they would learn secrets of wealth. But what they got instead was hard work, long hours, and very little pay. After a few weeks, Robert became frustrated. He felt angry. "This is unfair," he said. "We are working so hard and getting almost nothing." That's when Rich Dad gave them their first lesson, a lesson that would change everything. He said, "This is exactly how life treats most people. People work hard for money, but they never learn how money works. They get trapped in a cycle. That cycle is what he called the rat race. You work hard, you earn money, you pay bills, then you need more money. So you work harder, again and again, year after year, until one day, you realize you've been running, but never moving forward." Rich Dad looked at Robert and said, "Don't work for money. Make money work for you." At first, Robert didn't understand. How can money work? Money doesn't move. It doesn't think. But Rich Dad smiled and introduced him to the most important concept of all, assets and liabilities. He said, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Simple, right? But this simple idea changes everything. Most people think a big house is an asset. A luxury car is success. Expensive things mean you are rich. But Rich Dad said, if it takes money from your pocket, it is not an asset. If you have to pay for it every month, it is a liability. Real assets are things like businesses, investments, stocks, real estate that generates income. These are things that make money for you, even when you are not working. That's how the rich grow. They don't just earn money. They build assets. Robert began to understand. Being rich is not about earning more. It is about building more. But then came another powerful truth. Rich Dad said, the reason most people are not rich is not because they lack money. It's because they lack financial education. Schools teach you how to read, write, pass exams, but they don't teach you how to invest, how to manage money, how to build wealth. So people grow up, get a job, earn money, and spend it. They buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. And slowly, they fall deeper into the rat race. Robert saw this happening everywhere. People working hard, but still struggling. Then Rich Dad taught him something even deeper. He said, fear is the biggest reason people stay poor. Fear of losing money, fear of taking risks, fear of failing. So people choose safety. They avoid investing. They avoid opportunities, and they stay stuck. But Rich Dad believed something different. He said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. Because if you don't try, you don't grow. If you don't learn, you don't move forward. Robert started to change. He stopped thinking like poor dad and started thinking like Rich Dad. He didn't chase jobs anymore. He chased knowledge. He learned about money, investments, opportunities. He made mistakes, but he learned from them. Slowly, he built assets, small ones at first, then bigger ones. And one day, he realized something powerful. Money is not the goal. Freedom is. The freedom to live life on your terms. The freedom to not depend on a job. The freedom to choose your own path. And that freedom comes from financial intelligence. In the end, Robert understood the biggest lesson of all. Being rich is not about money. It is about mindset. The rich think differently. They see opportunities where others see problems. They take action while others hesitate. And most importantly, they make money work for them. So now, ask yourself, are you working for money? Or is money working for you? Because your future depends on the answer. And maybe, just maybe, the life you dream of is waiting for you on the other side of one decision. Join our channel to listen more books.